was driving up maybe, really early, like 7, and that woman in a van in front of me hit a bear and killed it, a young bear. So I pulled over and I picked up the bear and put him in the back of my van because I was going to skin the bear, and it was very good condition, and I was going to put the meat in my refrigerator. And you can do that in New York State. You can get a bear tag for a roadkill bear. And so then we went hawking, and I had the bear in my car. And then we had a really good day, and we went late. We were catching a lot of game, and the people really loved it, so we stayed late. And instead of going back to my home in Westchester, I had to go right to the city because there was a dinner at Peter Luger's Steakhouse. And at the end of the dinner, it went late, and I realized I couldn't go home. I had to go to the airport. And the bear was in my car, and I didn't want to leave the bear in the car because that would have been bad. So then I thought, at that time, this was a little bit of the redneck in me. There'd been a series of bicycle accidents in New York. They had just put in the bike lanes, and saw a couple of people had gotten killed, and it was every day, and people had gotten badly injured. Every day it was in the press. And so I thought, I wasn't drinking, of course, but people were drinking with me who thought this was a good idea. And I said, I had an old bike in my car that somebody had asked me to get rid of it. I said, let's go put the bear in Central Park and we'll make it look like he got hit by a bike.
No, that's not funny. And also that's gross. And it's totally weird to take a baby bear and stick it in the back of your car and then forget about it and go to steak at Peter Luger's and then decide to reenact a bike accident where the bear got killed. That's not
Donnie,
okay.
Donnie, I'm not good at branding. Tell me, how does this play in Peoria?
Joe, remind me of the time, Joe, remember you and I were meeting the Rev and Ratner at Polo, and I had that baby bison in my car, and you and I were just like, what do we do? Do we go to Polo? Do we eat the bison? And I don't remember how it ended, but it was just one of those nights. From a branding point of view,
I'm from a family of hunters.
Yeah. I think you drove it to the East River, but go ahead.
Okay. We're a country of 330 million people. And to think the fact that our third presidential candidate, although he's down to, you guys talked to me earlier, 2-3%, this man is actually running for president. He is running for president, and you can't make this stuff up. It's just, by the way, Alex, I would just run that loop the rest of the show. I know Morning Joe has huge numbers, but I don't think you're going to do anything that's going to top that video.
It looks like an episode of Curb. I mean, it just looks so completely outlandish. Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
You know why
What?
Larry now said to Cheryl at the end, "Are you okay?
Yeah.
Are you sure you're okay?"
The last episode of Curb Your
You
Enthusiasm.
sure?
Note the moment where Larry says to Cheryl, "You okay?"
She goes, "Yeah."
And he goes, "I don't think so."
I don't think so. You sure?
There's the reason. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. recounting that story to comedian Roseanne Barr in an apparent attempt to get ahead of a New Yorker article that posted this morning, which revealed the 10-year-old incident. Also with us, the president of the National Action Network and the host of MSNBC's Politics Nation, Reverend Al Sharpton, and we can move on to bigger and better things, I think.
I don't know, Rev.
Is a big one.
It's fascinating, isn't it, Rev?
It is. When you thought that Robert Kennedy Jr. couldn't get weirder, talking about we're in the era of weird in politics between J.D. Vance and Robert Kennedy Jr., this got a lot weirder. I can't imagine. And he elaborated on it. I thought it was something he just slipped. He elaborated and went into details. And to think that people are actually voting for him, it's all I can say is let us pray.
Well, let us pray. John, for those of us, I've known him for a while, and it was always nice. But, he's... I think it's safe to say that people that have known him for a long time, fair to say he's quirky. Is that fair to say, John?
I mean, that's a very gentle way of putting it. I mean, I know he probably doesn't fall into your catch-all, Joe, of weirdos, insurrectionists, and freaks.
Insurrectionists, right? And freaks, right?
I've always wanted to know how you distinguish between the weirdos and the freaks, but we'll put that aside for now. I think he's a conspiracy theory loving oddball. Again, that's a kind way of putting it. I mean, I think he's propounded a lot of genuinely dangerous ideas out there in the public space. He's someone who, in the world of politics, someone who was for a long time was a champion, was regarded as a kind of mainstream member of the environmental movement, who, on the basis of his behavior, right, some of the positions he's taken, was kind of read out of the environmental movement. People won't have anything to do with him. We talked earlier today about the oddness of the worm in his brain that he's claimed. And then there are also, he's not only has he acknowledged now that he's sexually harassed a babysitter of his, he has basically said there may be more stories like this. I've been around a long time. There may be more stories like that still coming down the pike. I think that's a paraphrase, but he's been on the record saying, kind of trying to basically say there's other stuff out there about himself. So I think, quirky is one way of putting it. Also, I think diminishingly relevant to politics. You did point out earlier, you still see it, even though he's down to about 2% nationally. With him in the race, or him in the polling, it helps Kamala Harris, which is something that a lot of people have thought along, which is that he would take more votes from Donald Trump, right, because of his conspiracy theories and because of his anti-vax views, that he would actually, in the end, net out as being it'd be worse for Trump if he were in the race than it would be for, at the time, Joe Biden, and now for Harris. So, but I think, look, he is dwindling as a political stock with every passing moment, and the bear thing does not do anything to reverse that. Well,
which is actually good news for Donald Trump, because, again, Mika, at least in recent polling with Trump and Harris, if it may be tied, and then you put RFK Jr. into the mix, and Kamala picks up 1 or 2 points.